Hello and welcome back to Whimsical Farm. Today we're going to do a special as the sun starts to go down, and we're going to make a special meatloaf. I'm going to show you all the ingredients. We're getting ready to roll it up. It's going to have some cheese. It's going to have all kinds of special things, and we're going to cook it just like we did on the grill last time and circle it with some chicken so they can watch it cook. So here we go. Shine right here. Let's start off with, we've got 2 pounds of very high quality ground beef, 2 pounds of that. We have 1 roll of sausage. This is Tennessee Farm, and what I did is I cut this all up with a nice, my brand new knife that's a brisket slicing knife. So it's in cubes, and then I refrigerated it a little bit so that it won't just turn into a big ball. So let's start with the beef. We're gonna go ahead and, you can see that still, see how it's kind of falling apart? We're gonna throw the beef in there. I'm gonna go a little bit fast at the beginning of this, and then we'll slow down when we load it on the grill. I'll put a little bit of butter in there. So we got that. Here goes our sausage. That is a hot sausage. It's sticking together a little bit, but it's still got the gaps in between. And a little bit more meat. And then some sausage. And break it up real good. What you don't want to do when you do a meatloaf is you don't want to form it real tight, because if you get real tight, it's not going to cook properly. So what most people do when they're making up a meatloaf is they add a bunch of breadcrumbs, and we don't want to do that, because this is going to be almost pure carnivore. We do cheat a little bit because we have a garden. So in the garden we grow our own jalapenos. So we're going to add a 1/2 cup of chopped jalapenos. I got a few seeds in there. 1/2 cup of that. That's going to provide us with a little bit of fluff. We're going to use a full heaping cup of onions, again, to add a little bit of fluff so it's not compacted meat. And then our special meat, Dr. Ken Berry said that if you're on a budget, things are a little tight, you can use a little bit of this. Now, I know some people are really scared of Spam, but there's been a lot of veterans that ate a lot of cans of Spam and survived. Hawaiian people are eating 7 million cans of Spam every day. Unbelievable. This is a high quality ham. They do not use guts or ears or curly tails or hoofs. This is high quality ham. It does have a lot of salt, so I didn't put a lot of salt in this. This is kind of going to be our salt and our high quality ham. So we're going to dump that in there. That is a 1/2 cup of chopped Spam. That's also already cooked. So unlike bacon, which I've tried bacon, look up here just a second. I've tried bacon, putting it in the meat. It is no good. I don't like that, because you cook it, and just about the time your meatloaf is done, you cut it open, you'll get little pieces of soft bacon that is not cooked. So we're going to stir that just a little bit. Now, that's going to provide the fluff. We got all of our fluffy stuff. I even put a little butter on the top. The seasoning we're going to put on the outside. I'm not going to put too much on the inside, and because some people won't want very much, you can cut the outside off and everything will be good. Now, for a binder, we've got a couple of farm fresh eggs, and I already got them cracked to save a little time. That's where I slow down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and dump these 2 farm fresh eggs in there. You don't want to put too many eggs, you'll have a mess. So now we're going to get all that kind of blended. Let's get it blended together. Notice I got a really nice heavy duty stainless steel pan. Some people like to use a loaf pan, and that's okay, but I don't like glass when I'm dealing out here in the yard, knocking around. Dogs may jump up here. I don't want any glass for the kids to get their feet cut on. Now, we're going to have a bottom to this and a top. So what we'll do is, after we get this blended a little bit, that should be close enough. We don't have to fuss with it. So we're going to pull us off enough to make a top. We'll use about 1/3. Put that there. We keep 2/3 for the bottom and 1/3 for the top. Now we're going to make us a roll. Get this kind of rolled up. Form it this way. Try to start getting it tight. We can go against the edge. Get us a meatloaf. And we're going to take fingers and push this down a little ditch right in the middle of it. We're going to spread it out a little bit. Now we got our little ditch. Wonder what we could put in that little ditch right there, that little opening, little cave, special spot in the meatloaf. Wonder what we could, oh look, I bet you we could use some Philadelphia cream cheese. This is the good stuff. We didn't buy the cheap off-brand. We bought the real, original, 100% Philadelphia. They make this in Philadelphia. You can't buy this in New York. They don't make this in Tennessee. The sausage, you get it from Tennessee. But if you want some nice cream cheese, you drive into Philly, and it's a Philadelphia cream cheese. All right, so this all needs to fit perfect or it'll blow up. You won't be able to eat it. It's no good at all. So you want the diameter to be the same as your ditch. See, I've got a little skinny part there for a tail, got a fat part here. Let's get that all, let's keep all this the same. So our ditch is the exact same diameter, same depth, and we'll put that right there. Now this is where you get your fitting, okay? You're pouring concrete now, or like a cast, you're getting it to fit good. And then we're gonna make us another meatloaf top out of the last third and set him right on top of that. Now some people think this is never gonna work, but you gotta have a little bit of faith and be confident in what you're trying to get accomplished here. And the only thing you have to do to really make this work good is make sure meat is touching meat. And then use your finger and poke that together. That's where we're bolting it together using some rosy riveter technique. Smash it a little bit, do a little smashing. Don't be shy with it, you ain't gonna hurt it. It's already stopped breathing long ago, so you don't have to worry about hurting it. Smack it down a little bit. Let's turn this around. Smack that down a little bit. And make sure it's touching. Make sure meat's touching meat. Cheese is hidden on the inside. My wife's already getting excited about it. She is the camera lady, but I hear her over there snickering. Now, we gotta have some seasoning. So we're gonna take a little Tony's, make this real simple. A little bit of Tony's. We're gonna take some, I'm hiding my pepper, it's down here in the bushes. We're gonna put some nice black pepper. You got that much sausage and that much beef, you better put some black pepper. And I learned this, there was a guy named the Barbecue Dog, I think's his name, but he's on YouTube, and I'll give him credit. I probably didn't say his name right, but it does have a D-A-W-G, I think is what he goes by. Here is our, I went ahead and cheated and put my garlic, onion, and everything all together, and my salt. So we'll put a little, hit it with that a little bit. And I am going to turn it over. We don't want to leave part undone. And that's plenty of that. Now we have to kind of keep up with the flat if you want to keep your cheese right where it needs to go. So we're going to run that on out a little bit. See if we can get it turned over. And it's going to turn over, maybe, maybe not. Oh, it doesn't look like it wants to. So we're going to roll it over by finger and roll it this way. And we're going to make it turn over. That's getting soft. Now when you do this meatloaf, you really need to that is not going to want to do that. So we're going to go right here. It's going to try to get silly with me. We're going to go right here, roll him out that way. See, he had to go to the hospital to get out of that bed. Now he's on the gurney, and we'll get him taken care of. I am going to turn this over because I want that cheese kind of up on the top, so if it melts down, everything will be fine. We also got to make this fit into our beautiful square skillet. So here we go, a little more Tony's. We thought we were going to have a catastrophe there, but we made a quick recovery. This is the first one of these that I've done. So if you see something that doesn't look super professional, and you've done a whole bunch of them and can do better, that's fine. We like to show it as it is, the real thing. And there's our onion powder and some salt and some garlic powder. We also want to add, my wife loves this stuff, this is our chipotle chili seasoning. And you may look at that and say, what in the world, how in the world are you ever gonna get that back where it goes? Well, here we go. This goes to over here. Put him underneath the table. We're getting ready to load this on the grill. Here comes out our secret weapon. Oh boy, that looks a little long, doesn't it? Well, that's not a problem. We'll put it in the hydraulic compressor. Get that compressed a little bit. Put these guys over here, put that blade there, and we're gonna make this happen. There's the skillet. All right, let's measure it carefully. If you got calipers, that would work. a tape measure would work, a good square would work. But I'm gonna measure it like that. We gotta make sure it fits. That's our meatloaf. Say it's kind of square. Well, we got a square pan, so we're gonna have a square meatloaf. Here we go. Let's get him to the edge. Come on, meatloaf, work with me now, work with me. Work with me. Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Let's see if gravity's still working, even this time of the day. Oh, it did. Gravity's still working. That is great. So slide him over a little bit. Slide him over a little bit. Double check him. This is going to shrink a little. Keep that in mind. Beef always shrinks. Now today we're going to do something different than we did last time. When this begins to cook down a little bit, we may pour off a little bit of grease, but we are not going to pour it all off, because some of that's going to be your au jus, which is beef drippings, the water from the beef. So we're going to keep some of that in there so it can soak it back up as it cools when it's all done. Here's our chipotle. Finish that off. And I just love pepper, so it's going to get just a small little shower. Beef, it's hard to go wrong with a little bit of pepper. So we're treating it now like it's a great big old brisket. And I can hardly wait to slice into that, taste that cheese. Now, we got to load this thing. We don't have to flip and flop it now. All we got to do is load it on the grill. And we got our grill all set up. I got clean on one side and rusty on the other, like always. And we'll stick this on here. Oh, wait, before I do that, I almost forgot. Our fire's getting down low. We're low on charcoal today, so we're going to finish this bad boy up with some wood. We're going to cook with almost straight cherry wood today and see if we can make this thing work. Now that is going to light, and we're going to probably let this run pretty hard and hit that 450, 500 degree level like always, and then we'll choke it down. We are not using the dragon technique like we did on it the first time. This is straight cook, so that's a lot of heat. And if it tries to get too hot, we can always throttle it down. The throttle on the bottom is not open. The throttle on the bottom now is 100% open. We want that air to come up. You can see that thing is getting ready to go ballistic. So we're going to put our junky grill on that side, like that. Always keep kind of a rough side that I don't fool with too much. And we're going to bring that beautiful meatloaf. Now remember, we've got 2 pounds of ground beef. We have 1 pound of the hot sausage from the hills of Tennessee. We've got a cup of onions, heaping cup, half a cup of jalapenos, and a half a cup of the mystery meat, which is not a mystery now, it's really Spam. And we're going to set that right there, kind of close to the fire. We can always turn this around. And look, there are some chickens that came flying up. They want to see what's going on, so they're going to get right here. These are beautiful chicken thighs. They've been coated with butter and just a little touch of Tony's. They didn't get the pepper treatment, so we're going to have to help them out with that. And those will shrink a little. That skin will get a beautiful color. Let's turn this way. Let's go that way all the way. Leave a little room for chicken thigh. Man, I'm getting hungry just watching this whole process. We got a little naked part right there. We're gonna fix that. We are not putting up with no naked chicken. Can't be out on the beach, be naked. We gotta have a little seasoning. Seasoning on the top, seasoning on the side. All the seasoning, and let's give him just a little bit of black pepper also. I like me a little black pepper. That's a bunch of black pepper. Now you can see that fire right there would love to get away. And it would get away and be burning everything up in no time. So we're gonna put the smoke, make the smoke travel the distance over the food. Let the smoke come out on this side. Come on, Weber. You'll see a lot of professionals use this grill. Now this is not a big boy, it's a 22-inch, but they make it in a 26, which is my next step up. And then they make a great big farm unit, but I'm not going that step. It's $1,800 for the big farm boy. Our cows have stepped on this and knocked it over, and it's had a rough life. So there's that beautiful apple smoke going. We can throw all this stuff in here and take it to the dishwasher. And tell you what, we will come back to see you in about 30 minutes and have a look at this and put the old digital probe to it. So thank you for watching. Hello and welcome back to Whimsical Farm. We have just finished cooking this nice, what I'm going to call a special meatloaf because of all of its components. And the chickens that watched got cooked. You remember at the end my charcoal was running pretty low, so I added a bunch of apple wood. I ended up adding 12 pieces. That was a little bit much. It tried to catch on fire like a brush fire. We tried to control it. We got it back under control, but boy, it cooked it fast. The thing that saved the day was we had this nice digital thermometer. This is sold on Amazon. We are officially affiliates now of Amazon. And I really like this device. It's super simple to use. When you open it like that, it turns it on. When you close it, it turns it off. So we took this meatloaf up to, and I'll put a link on that. We took this meatloaf up to 200 degrees. The chicken the same. My wife really likes this crust like this. Now you may think that's burnt. It is a little dark, but most of that's just the seasoning that turns black. But it's good crisp skin and very tender, falling off the bone. Let's go ahead and make a cut here on this. You'll notice that it did explode a little bit. We had a little bit of cheese that's trying to come out, but cream cheese is not very famous for burning. It's not like a regular cheese at all. It's ultra pasteurized. I'm gonna go ahead and make a few slices on this and then we'll open it up and see what this looks like. I'm kind of excited about it. I've never cooked one like this on the barbecue grill with the nice wood smoke. Ooh, that's coming apart a little bit. Let's expand this out. And I'm going to slowly get that piece. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that has got that cream cheese on the inside. Now watch this. We're gonna go ahead and move this over. That's really tender, really soft. It's trying to come apart on me a little bit. We'll make it work though. Now that's when you need the spatulosis. You're serving this up to somebody trying to make it look nice, you will need a spatula because that's really soft on the inside. But it got good and done. That's 200 degrees. You can see the cream cheese. The onions, the jalapenos got good and soft. Let's go ahead and lay out several pieces of this. There's another piece. We'll lay it right here beside it. I don't want to top stack it because, oh, that looks good. Let me have a little taste of that. Golly. That's good enough. This slice, gonna have to do some surgery on him. He got a little bit in trouble. Lay him over gently. Yeah, that's really tender. I probably could have used a little bit less cheese, but no way. We wanted that cheese. That is good stuff. Had no problem with meatloaf falling apart a little bit. Just, you could probably let this sit. Make another cut here. You probably could let this sit just a little bit longer and cool down some, and that would firm up for you. Usually, meatloaf, this is my opinion, is better the next day anyway. So you could stick this in the refrigerator and let it really solid up at 45 degrees, then slice it off. Look at that. Now that's a beauty. These pieces here, these are beginner cuts right here. This is the advanced cut. Look at that. That's a beauty. That really looks good. Now, I've got to cut one more piece off because I'm going to try a piece of this meatloaf. Now this is where there's a little less cheese. Maybe it'll be a little easier to work with. Oh, it is trying to come apart on me. That's going to put that back together. That's going to be my piece. That's a defective piece right there. So we're going to get him real careful. Lay him over. Look at that. Now, that ain't defective. I would eat that. That's not going to scare me a bit. So we're going to close this up. Close the meatloaf up so it doesn't dry out. Move him over a little bit. And now the Papa Bear has got to find a fork. And I got to test this. The first test we're going to do, let's test just the meat by itself where there's no cheese and see what it tastes like. That is very delicious. Now, carnivore. It's not pure carnivore. You know why it's not pure? Here's the parts that are pure carnivore. The beef, that's off an animal. The pork sausage, hot pork sausage, off an animal. The cheese from an animal. The parts that are not 100% carnivore are the onions and the jalapeno peppers that came out of our garden, and a little bit of the seasoning. That's a chipotle seasoning that's from a pepper plant. But I'm gonna call this 95% carnivore. I'm also gonna tell you this is pretty hot. Not like burn the house down hot, but it's got hot sausage and then a half a cup of jalapenos. It's very wise when you do this. Always check your jalapenos before you make a dish like this, because you know some jalapeno peppers, they are so hot you can barely eat them. And some of them are so mild they don't hardly have any flavor. So I did test these before I chopped them. Now look at this. You see that cream cheese right there? This is the stuff that people fight over. See that delicious cream cheese? There's a little piece of onion there. I gotta try this now. Hopefully I won't choke on the video. Golly. That is thinking delicious. That, I will save me some cream cheese and move it around so I can have it with the rest of it. Look at that piece. It's got cream cheese, it's got the onions, and there's a little green speck of jalapeno. Man, I'll tell you, I feel sorry for people that just want to eat macaroni and cheese and biscuits and cornbread and all that stuff. It's not that it doesn't taste good, but that right there is delicious. I could eat that for breakfast, for lunch, for supper, and wake up in the middle of the night, eat that as a midnight snack. That is good. Look how much food and how much flavor, the jalapenos, the onions, and don't forget, if you look close, there's a little piece of Spam right there. What that Spam does is it keeps that moisture inside there where it's nice and moist, and that's a high quality piece of ham. So that's delicious too, and it adds a little salty bite, which gives you an amplification of all your flavors across the board. So one more bite, and then we'll finish this video up. See, now when you cut this, always kind of save some of your cream cheese back for the other parts. So, oh gosh, that is so tender and delicious. I can't believe the camera woman is not, look at that. Oh, I even got, look at that. Got a black bark, like it's a brisket. See that? All right. Enough eating. We want to tell you thank you very much for visiting us here at Whimsical Farm. Thank you for considering the carnivore diet. If you haven't done it yet, pick your 30 days out of your life, just eat straight carnivore, and watch and see if you don't start feeling stronger. You get more horsepower, you'll lose weight, your fat will start to burn off, your mood will get better, and your sugar will stabilize nice and flat. Some people that are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, this diet right here will wipe their diabetes out. And people have joint pains for swelling in their joints, their knees, their shoulders, their wrist. When you get off of sugar, that goes away. So blood pressure will come down. Your digestive will be easier because you're not trying to digest a bunch of broccoli that won't digest. And corn, it's the same coming and going. It does not digest. So consider the carnivore, try it out, and keep coming back to Whimsical Farm. We got all kinds of videos coming. We'll have one, probably one a week, one every other week. And just hit that like and subscribe, and we'll keep sending them to you. Thank you for being with us today. And talk to you again later. Bye.